All right, so without any further delay, let's get started on today's webinar. The topic for today, of course, is what a relevant professional degree can do to advance your career in mass media. Dear students, one last time, make sure you're asking your questions in the Q&A section if you're already buzzing with questions. And now we are going to get to our presentation, which will be given by Dr. Kanwaljit. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to all the participants and panelists of this special webinar that we have organized in Dr. Vishwanath Karad, MIT World Peace University, Pune. And today we are discussing about a very special topic, that what a relevant professional degree can do to advance your career in mass media. Now, this is specifically focused about the programs that we are running in our media school, that is School of Media and Journalism. I am Dr. Kamaljeet Singh and I am heading this department. And today on the panel, we also have our Dean, Professor Anuradha Parashar ma'am, and of course the faculty members who will be guiding you all along in the question and answers chat session, not in the Q&A thing, and also over on the audio also. Now bear with me when I'm just a second. Okay, we'll start with the panoramic view of our university, and this is the location. We are in Kothurud, Pune, the heart of the city, and this is the location. I'll quickly run through the top leadership at MIT World Peace University, that is our Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.T. Rao, and a galaxy of eminent educationists. And again, we have association with professors of practice and advisors, that is the eminent members from the industry who have graciously chosen to associate with us. Now, this is the core faculty of School of Media and Journalism, and which is headed by our Dean, Professor Anuradha Parashar ma'am. And of course, they are faculty members who have got different expertise in different variants of media. Mr. Makarand Malave, Mr. Anurag Verma, Mr. Sagar Palkar, Ms. Anuja Palkar, and Ms. Akshita Sawant. We also have distinguished adjunct professors coming from all over the world. And of course, we have eminent professionals who have chosen to come regularly in the premises to deliver guest lectures. Now, these are on our panel also. Now we're talking about our two main courses, that is MA in Journalism and Mass Communication and BA in Journalism and Mass Communication. Now, before I proceed further, I just want to clarify that there are so many variants of mass communication courses right now in different universities. According to the UGC guidelines, we have created and formulated these courses, and as of now, for mass communication, I want to be very clear that this nomenclature is something which is standardized and is accepted as far as UGC is concerned. So I guess that is very important, because you got very many permutation and combination of mass communication courses. So Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication and Masters of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication. These are the standard courses recognized by UGC. This is something about the various features of our university and school. There's the various facilities and the things that we do apart from academics. The rural immersion, national study tour, international immersion. We'll be talking about it further down the slides. These are the various activities. Now, apart from academics, We are very much active for other things, about events, about sports, about trekking and other activities, definitely. And every event, whether it is an induction program or anything else, it is done in a very proper and organized in a proper event. Now here is a glimpse of our students working using digital equipment. Now some of the equipment that you see, now this is a glimpse of the field exercises, and now here what you see is a glimpse of our studio, where you have news reading or anchoring exercise going on with the help of a device called teleprompter, which is again an industry standard equipment that we have over here. Now this is about something very interesting, international immersion, which is again a standard part of our courses, of course. And the bottom part you can see is this is during their visit to NTU Singapore last year, and they are right now witnessing the same technology that was used to create and film mega budgeted films like Avatar using digital effects. So they went to the Singapore also, and they visited news channel setups. As you can see, they were allowed to use and actually simulate those actual practices. So that is something which is part of our curriculum. That is the international immersion. Of course, some sort of contribution is required from the student side also, and that is explained before the beginning of the tour. So this is again from some glimpses from the international immersion, and of course then we have the national immersion program, and after that we have got a rural immersion program. So I will quickly come to, and of course these are some of the very mega events that we keep on organizing: Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad and Women's Parliament. So these are some of the events that are regularly organized over here, and students take active participation in them. Now, very quickly, I will give you an overview of the Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication program. The intake is 60 and the fee is 2,15,000 per annum. And the assessment pattern is internal 60% and external 40%. And now it is an overview of Master of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication. Again, the intake is 40 and the fee is rupees 2 lakh per annum. I will quickly go through the program structure of BA and MA. Now we are following a trimester pattern. That means we are able to have more subjects per year for our students, and we can introduce we can say specialized and distinct subjects instead of cramming them up in a single semester. So this is a glimpse of the semester schedule that we have over here. You can see the specialized subjects that we are offering: public relations, fundamental of advertising, media criticism. And this is again PAGMC. Again, you will see all the specialized subjects, all industry standard, and they have been created, and they have been what you can say, they have been adjusted in the trimester pattern in a very seamless manner. Now this is again the third year program of the trimester pattern, and at the end you can see there's an option of specialization also. So you are studying all the programs, all the different what you can say subjects of mass media and journalism in the first 2 years, and the third year you get an option to specialize in various aspects, where you are given opportunity to specialize in digital content and video journalism and advertising. So a lot of options are there for you to specialize also at undergraduate and master's level. This is something about our response to COVID-19 challenge. Immediately within a week of the shutdown imposed by the government, MIT World Peace University immediately transferred the teaching process to online using video conferencing and other connectivity tools. And I'm right now feeling very happy to tell you that we have been able to finish this semester by the designated date that we had decided way back in January. These are the overview of the IT enabled pedagogy that we are going to follow. Now, this is something very important. Internship and placements are something which are integral part of our teaching process. Every student has to mandatorily take up internship in various media organizations that is facilitated by our core placement cell, and all the top media brands. We have contacted those media brands, and right now also our students are working in all the top media brands for their internships even during this COVID period. And you can see there are all the top names like Quint, BBC Network, Network 18, Mudra, SL Group. Every top media group has been contacted and made partner for this internship and placement program. Now the career options for media are so varied, because there are so many areas in which you can go. You can pick up print media, you can pick up online media. Even in online media, they got so many specializations. Like during this COVID crisis, you must have observed that you tend to access different type of news portals for specific information. Like if you are going for political information, then you're going for a different website. If you're going for health related bulletins, you're going for a different online portal. So all the content is provided by specialist media content creators, and that is what we train our students for. So there are so many opportunities: radio, then again online radio, television, filmmaking, digital media marketing, event management, corporate communication, PR consultancy. The list goes on and on. There's so many areas, and I'm not very happy right now to say that in the present times, the only organization, the only industry which is thriving is media, because you can't do without it, because you cannot do without information. That's not a very happy thought considering the gloomy circumstances we are in. But right now, we all know that how indispensable media and information is to our survival. Now, something very important, the admission procedure. Before proceeding further, I would request you that, considering that there are so many announcements being done by the government and the UGC regarding the admission procedures, so I would urge you to visit admissions web portal of MIT World Peace University and register yourself for any prospective course, so that you are able to get all the latest information, any change of plans, any change of dates, anything that you want to know. You'll be intimated by our admission counselors and coordinators. It's very important, and so you will basically stay in touch with what is happening. We know that right now we are passing through anxious times, so I guess this is very important. Now the key dates, as we have decided, the last date of admissions as decided earlier was 30th June 2020. Of course, there might be some changes in it. That's what I'm saying. I'm urging you to please register yourself on the admission portal. It's very important, so that you are continuously updated. Now, that is the starting of a program is again according to the predetermined schedule is 6th of July 2020. And as you can see, the registration is very nominal, 1,500 for postgraduate courses and 1,000 rupees for undergraduate courses. I would urge you regarding that, so that we keep in loop, so that we stay in touch, kindly register. Now, this is something about the postgraduate entrance test, that is PGPET, and UGPET, that is undergraduate program test. That is, the dates are 27th, 31st, and 2nd of June. So basically, once you get registered on our admission microsite, then you will be informed about the schedule of the examination, any other information that you want to have regarding your submission of documents or any kind of scholarship that you want to know about. So anything that you want to know, please register yourself on the admission microsite of MIT. You will immediately, if you open up the web page of MIT World Peace University, you will find the admission microsite. So it's very easy to find also. The eligibility criteria right now is 50% marks in aggregate in the qualifying or equivalent exam. That is, if you want to, that is the basic criteria for admission in the UG and the PG courses right now. So that is 50% marks in aggregate in any qualifying examination. All the reservation and other facilities are given according to the government guidelines also. Now there are certain merit scholarships also, and the detailed what you can say information about this scholarship are available on our website. You can check them out. These are available for both undergraduate and for the postgraduate courses. It depends on your percentage and are on first come first serve basis. That means it is, as you can see, it is 5% of the approved intake in this case, in this particular scholarship. So basically it is on first come first serve basis. Excuse me. And besides this also, there are some other scholarship, like the other scholarship pertaining to sports and normal, what you can say, the sorry, excuse me. About the education loan, most banks in the country easily are giving the education loan, and we will actively help you out in securing the education loan in case you are selected for the course. Now, this is something very important. You want to get in touch with us, there are various means. You can go to our website, you can note down these numbers, you can send your message via WhatsApp also. So any kind of communication you want to have, you can always note down these communication links and you can get in touch with us.
Okay, great. Kanwaljit sir, thank you so much for that presentation. Dear sir, if I can request you to quickly go to that slide which had the admissions flow chart, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
So this will really help all of you, dear students, understand what does the entire admissions process, what does it look like. And you can see the flow chart here, wherein first the student will apply on our website, which is the MIT World Peace University website. And then, of course, you will have to appear for the UG or the PG PET entrance exam, okay? Depending on if you're applying for the BA or the MA in journalism and mass communication, you will either apply for the UG PET entrance exam or the PG PET entrance exam, and this will be a computerized test. So do not worry about how it will be conducted. It will absolutely be online. And also there will be a personal interview, as you can see. And also after this, of course, the merit list will come out, and after which, if you're part of the merit list, you will pay the fees so that you can secure your seat for this program. And then, there are those key dates which have been mentioned. The orientation program starts on the 6th and 7th of July, and classwork starts from the 8th of July. Now, dear students, please note that these dates are tentative because of the situation we are in. Okay, your safety comes first, and if we need to extend those dates to further dates so that it is absolutely safe for you to join or start classes, we will do that, which is why it's subject to change. I think that's one thing I did want to highlight one more time in the presentation, and I hope you got all the information that you needed. But for the ones who are joining us maybe now, please don't fear. It's okay. We will be covering lots of questions in our live Q&A segment. So do stay tuned, and if you still have questions, keep asking your questions in the Q&A section that we have for you. You can just type out your questions in the Q&A section, and we will be happy to answer all your queries. Now, dear students, as you already know, we are also accepting admissions applications to these two crucial programs. This is the Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication and the Masters of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication, again at MIT World Peace University. So you can log into admissions.mitwpu.edu.in and select the program of your choice and send in your admissions applications to us. I recommend that you be early in this admissions process and not delay it, simply because it does allow us to get in touch with you and give you all the support that you need to get through the next steps of the admissions process. All right, we are going to quickly jump on to the live Q&A section that we have for you. And we will be joined by our esteemed faculty members. So Anuradha ma'am and Kanwaljit sir and Anuja ma'am, if I can have all of you here on video. Also, dear students, just to let you know, on your screen in a few seconds, you will see a Word document. This is a special resource that we are offering for you specifically. Our faculty very sweetly answered all the important questions that students ask us. So you can in fact even read through some of those answers if you're curious. Okay, so we have lots and lots of questions, ma'am and sir. So let's get quickly started. Okay. Prachi asks us, I have already filled the application for entrance. When will the entrance exam be conducted?
I'll take that question. A very good evening, everyone, and hearty greetings from MIT World Peace University, Pune. And more importantly, welcome to the world of journalism and mass communication. I'm Professor Anuradha Parashar, and I'm Dean from School of Liberal Arts, School of Fine Arts, School of Media and Journalism, and School of Performing Arts. And today I'm joined by Dr. Kanwaljit Singh and Ms. Anuja Palkar from School of Media and Journalism. At the outset, thanks for showing interest in BA and MA program in journalism and mass communication at MIT World Peace University, Pune, India. Our best wishes and blessing to all prospective students. May you clear successfully the selection process of journalism and mass communication program, and we look forward to welcome you at MIT World Peace University, which is known as the world's first university for life transformation with 4 decades of educational experience. So now coming back to the question raised by Prachi, yes, examination date is just now also shared as part of the presentation. So, this entrance exam, it is called UGPAT, undergraduate program entrance test, and PGPAT in case you are looking for a postgraduate program admission, MA program admission. So dates are announced, and earlier it was thought, usually we call student at a dedicated location to appear for the entrance examination, which is in your city itself. But considering this COVID situation and pandemic and lockdown, university is now planning to conduct entrance examination online. So sitting at your home on the given date, you can appear for your examination, and don't worry about that. You will be advised, you will be guided by all our admission counselors and the faculty coordinators. They will help you and advise you how you can appear for that examination. And this UGPET examination is basically on logical reasoning, analytical skills, current affairs. So it is assessment on that parameter. And this is 1 hour duration exam, which carries 100 marks, and which is followed by interview process. So the selection is based on UGPET examination and interview process. The merit list is prepared. So I think I should invite Anuja. You would like to add on and advise student?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. I would like to advise students that, do refer to some of the books that are advised by competitive exams, like general studies, net exams. So a lot of books have the same pattern that we follow, or majority of the colleges follows the similar pattern. MCQ pattern is there. And for that, you need to go through the books which are required for competitive exams. Like general studies is there, general studies part 1, part 2. So you can refer to those books, and you can also refer to many online exams also which are available as a part of practice. Thank you.
Okay,
Over to you,
great.
Suchi.
Yes, ma'am, I did want to ask you, you mentioned the dates are announced. What date would it be, just tentatively, if there is a date for the
Yes,
entrance exam?
yes, that's good, Suchi. You pointed that. So for both UGPAT and PGPAT examination, dates are May 27th, May 30th, and June 2nd, and it will be online exam.
Okay, great. So that's UG PET and PG PET, both of those exams are happening on those 3 dates. And is there a criteria like the first set of exams is only for Maharashtra students and the second date is for students outside of Maharashtra, or there is no such thing?
So it is planned that way only, that for May 27th, like it is for students who are other than Mumbai and Pune, and May is for Mumbai and Mumbai, and then like that, June 2nd is for Pune. But since it would be online exam, there will be a possibility that they may appear, or these all 3 dates may be available for the students. So I suggest all students to please wait further, because university is taking a policy decision on conducting these examinations. These out of Maharashtra or within Maharashtra or Pune, that was considering the fact that you will be coming to a dedicated examination center to appear for examination. That time, this lockdown situation was not anticipated. But since it will be online, so there can be a, you may have this option of selecting of these 3 days dates one date. So you will be advised by the admission coordinators. But what is suggested at this point of time is you start preparing for the entrance examination, and very soon you will be getting information from the university. Back to you, Suchi.
I think we've lost Suchi. She has some technical difficulties. This is
Okay.
Neeta. I'm Associate Director Admissions, just to introduce myself. And I'll take it on from here. So thank you for that, Dean Parashar. Thank you very much. Ma'am, what will be the syllabus for the entrance exam? I'm a student of class 12 science is a question which is coming up.
The student is from 12th science.
Yes, 12 science.
It's okay. You may be from science, you may be from commerce background, or you may be from arts background. As I said, the syllabus for entrance examination, it will be reasoning, logical and analytical skills, some information about what's happening around your current affairs. All those things will help you in successfully clearing the examination. And here again, I would like to invite Anuja. You may like to advise students.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, you can go through all the general studies books that are available, and you can get it online also, and you can get all the study material online, because right now, since we are in lockdown, so you can get all the material online as well, and study all the material that is related to basic grammar, which is related to English, and then you can also study some of the logical reasoning, questions like assumptions, and answering the assumptions and possibilities, permutation, combination. little bit of math, not much, but little bit of math understanding. And also, as ma'am said, that yes, a lot of current affairs you need to understand. You need to have all the basic knowledge about, different organizations which are related to media. And so everything is basic. It's not really that difficult to crack. You can definitely make it very well.
Right. Thank you very much for that. There's a question again from Jay Jadhav. I'm sorry, this is a bit for repetition, but he's been very specific to say, due to network issue, I was unable to hear about the exam. Can we give the exam from our home on the given date?
Yes. So I will again repeat the point. There is a possibility, and university is considering to have these entrance examination, whether for undergraduate program, that is BA JMC, and for postgraduate program, that is MA JMC, in online mode. So sitting at home, you can appear for the entrance examination, and you will be guided, you will be advised by our faculty coordinators and admission coordinators about all other details. And you will also receive information in this regard from the university shortly. Yes, Neeta.
Yes, thank you very much. We have another very good question, I would say. What is the difference between a mass media degree and a media and journalism degree?
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, good number of university, they came up with a different nomenclature for the degree program. So mass media, journalism and mass communication, they are same. And now there's a UGC directive saying that all such different names now be uniformly nomenclated as journalism and mass communication. So if you see, last year we were offering it as a BA mass media, but this time we have changed the program name as journalism and mass communication. So it is same. When are into journalist field, you need some medium to communicate the information. So that's the just an idea to share with the student. But these are same program. The degree nomenclature now, as per the directive of UGC, it is journalism and mass communication, and accordingly our degree is also named as BA and MA in journalism and mass communication. It's same. Yes, Neeta. Dr. Singh, I think you may like to supplement here.
No, ma'am, it's all right. You have explained that thing in a very detailed manner. I think we can go on to the next question.
Okay, good.
All right, thank you very much. We have a question which is really actually multiple questions. So I'll go one by one on them. This is about the COVID-19 situation currently in the country. So if the COVID situation is continued, how would the abroad immersion program be managed? Will it be cancelled?
Neeta, can you repeat?
If the COVID situation continues, how would you manage the international immersion program? And will it be cancelled?
See, you will be with university selected for this program, and you are lucky enough to be selected for this program. For 3 years. And if you are selected for MA program, then you will be with the university for 2 years. So usually international immersion program is at the end of the program. So for undergraduate student, it will be because first year we give rural immersion program, second year we give national immersion study tour, and third year we are giving international study tour. So you have 3 years to go for getting the international immersion program, and I think by that time we all would be overcoming this situation, and very soon I think we'll be overcoming this COVID situation and things will resume normal. So don't worry, even if you join today, it is 3 years to go from here to go for international immersion program. So it will not be cancelled, it will be there, and it is on request basis for the students. So if there's no request, it will not be given. Yes, Neeta.
Right, thank you very much. What are the options in any specialization? What is the difference between all of them is a question which is coming.
Okay, what are the specialization being offered?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think Dr. Singh, you can come in and then I'll
Yes,
take
ma'am.
up. Yeah.
See, in the third year, that is of undergraduate program, we got different types of specialization depending on your area of interest. So, like we have a digital content management system, we got radio journalism, and of course, we have a very specialized module in advertising. That means the creative part and the other part, which is the client servicing part. So basically, and then we have got integrated marketing communication. And besides that, also, uh, as I've explained earlier, we have got a mentor mentee system in place. So if a particular student wants to specialize in a specific area, which might not be mentioned, that also is being taken care of.
Okay, just to supplement what Dr. Singh said, so specialization are in offer for marketing communication. You can think for either journalism or advertisement or broadcast production. So of these four, you may decide for one specialization to progress when it comes to BAJMC. Yes. Nita,
Okay. Yes.
yes.
All right. Thank you so much. As we can all see, we are being flooded by student questions today. And our next question is coming from a student who's asking us, what is the difference between the mass media degree and the media and journalism degree?
Suchi, you joined just now. So actually, we had taken up this question.
Okay, so we will go on to the next question then. Our next question is coming from a student who is asking us, what was the cutoff for UG PET for last year's batch of the students who were pursuing the BA in Media and Communication?
Okay, so actually it varies every year. Last year, of course, it was very high, and it's difficult to predict and say what will be the performance of student, in the coming examination. So I think Anuja, you would like to throw some light on this.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, whatever the percentage that comes out of this exam is basically on a very different understanding. First of all, most of the students pass with flying colors. Definitely in this exam, I would like to say that. And another thing is, last year, as such as ma'am said, that the bar has set very high, and this year also we are looking for 70% the first cutout as such. We have not decided since we are going to take the exam online, and we have not decided yet that how the things will go, because as ma'am has said earlier that online exam and all that stuff we are looking at right now, looking at the condition right now. We will be able to make out about the cutouts and everything later only once the setup of exam is decided.
Okay, great.
Just
All
to
right.
supplement what Anuja said, usually it is very high. You can, but on an average, you may take it above 75% as a cutoff. This is based on previous. So I'm saying average, not highest and lowest. And for UGPET exam, there's no negative marking. So that is, so it is absolutely on whatever is the correct answers you are marking. It is computer-based examination. Yes. So, Suchi, yes, back to you.
All right, great. I can see there are a whole varied range of questions, and one of our students, Ketaki, is asking us, will our college start from 1st of September or 8th of July?
Okay, that's good. These are all prospective and fresh journalists who are thinking for journalism. They should be coming with questions and questions and questions. So that's expected from the present, this webinar, that there should be so many questions, because budding journalists who are really keen and eager to join journalism as the area. So coming back to the question, we just now in the presentation also shared that as part of the calendar, what we have planned for the next academic year, we intend to have our induction program on 6th of July, and 7th of July is the orientation, and 8th July the classwork starts. So that's what is planned. So we will be just considering the situation, there may be some change in the date, but what is the understanding and what we can think, and what we can anticipate will be starting uh, uh, possibly on time only, because MIT World Peace University is equipped well with all latest technology. Presently also, Dr. Singh also pointed in the presentation that the day lockdown was announced by the government, the very next day we were all engaging our sessions as per the timetable for all our students online. So there was no academic loss, and Dr. Singh also shared with you, and I'm also seconding that we completed our curriculum on time as per what we have planned. So even if the situation doesn't resume to normal, our effort will be to start session on time, and for the time being we are keeping our finger crossed to start it on July 6th and 7th, and 8th classwork starts. And again we will engage till such time the online session, till the time we are back to campus. So all your induction, everything, university is fully equipped with IT technology, and you will not feel as if whatever you are supposed to get is the first on the first day itself. Everything will be taken care in online mode or offline mode, and we really want to start our program on time. Dr. Singh, you would like to supplement?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I would like to point this out that during this crisis, uh, we had formulated an online strategy, and I'm happy to tell you all that although there are some hiccups and there are some problems, definitely there are issues of bandwidth, there are issues of connectivity, and during this seminar also, webinar, we are experiencing dropouts and we are experiencing technical problems. But I am very proud that my faculty members never backed uh, down, and they fought with all their might. They tried their level best, and even the students are very appreciative. We got what you can say long letters of appreciation from the parents, that we are really impressed at how you have managed to carry on with your academic schedule without any break, and they were so worried about the classes and academic process. So about this we are very clear that as far as our schedule is concerned, we won't be wavering it by a single day, because every day right now also, as ma'am would second me, that every day a report is generated for every hour of academic work that we do over here, and that report straight away goes to the top officials, that is the vice chancellor and the executive president, and is personally reviewed by them. So online academic work, I guess it is one of the best right now in the country as I've seen it, compared to the other big universities which have totally shut down everything. They are, I'm sorry to say, there are certain senior professors who don't even know how to open up an online video conferencing tool. So
All
in that
right.
respect,
All right.
we are, I guess, far ahead. Thank
So
you.
what I suggest the student, that you please fill application form, and you will be advised about everything, the next step, and all dates which will be there for you to complete your admission process or submission of documents. So please fill application forms that you are advised by the admission coordinators. Yes.
All right, I think we'll quickly move on to the next last few questions. Since we are running short of time, let's try and take as many as we can. Stuti Bandopadhyay asks us, what was the cutoff of PG PET for last year in the MAJMC program? So,
Uh,
short answers, but of course, we want to get to it.
Yes, so we are introducing again this program from this academic year. So difficult at this stage to say what will be the cutoff, because again it will depend on the performance of the students. Yes, Suchi.
Okay, but ma'am, do we have a tentative figure for last year? What was the cutoff?
Last year this program was not in offer.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, next question from Rutuja, and she's asking us, what are the options for specializations available in the MAJMC program?
Okay, Dr. Singh, you may like to come in, then I'll supplement.
Yes, MAGMC, Rutuja, is an postgraduate program, so it is more focused on the research part. And the main part in the final year is the dissertation, is the research dissertation, which is the partial fulfillment of the degree. That is one part because it's an academic degree. So apart from the specialization things that are offered, let's say for broadcast, for let's say advertising also. So you have those industry specific specialization happening, and at the same time keeping in mind the academic nature of the degree. So we have also the dissertation which eats up the majority part of the final year student. Rest all the facilities about the computer labs, about the broadcast studio are available to the master's students also.
Okay, great. Our next question is coming from an international student. And Neeta ma'am, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one as well. Does the university have any cell for student support, especially for those students whose parents are living abroad?
Yes, we actually have an international education center and people who are dedicated throughout the year to help international students and parents abroad and all of these things. So if we have your email address already, we can make sure we arrange a specific call from that center to you. So if you'd like to leave your details in a question, that's also all right. Any particular questions you'd like answered, I can make sure that someone from the center gives you a call and helps you out.
Can I add to that, please?
Yes, of course.
See, whether the student is coming from India or from abroad, over here MIT has got a policy of mentorship. That means every class has got a faculty mentor as a teacher, and that is our record that we are in constant touch with the student regarding any kind of problem that that student is facing, whether it is within the what you can say the curriculum or maybe something which is outside the curriculum issues. So basically, apart from academics also, there are some problems and there are some different types of maybe mental problems, maybe the other, as you can say, somebody has come from outside and is having difficulty adjusting or needs some help. So in that case also our mentors actively support such students.
I'll just put one point, Suchi, here. So we have dedicated international cell who helps students, who are enrolled for the program for international immersion. As we said that they go and they live in some foreign university and they take lessons over there. So that is one arrangement which is done by our international division. Second, of course, anyone student from abroad and pursuing our curriculum here. So all required support and support to the parents that is given fully. In addition to that, I would like to just point one more thing, that supposing some student, they want to have 2 years of degree program here and 1 year of training program in some international university, that provision also university is exploring. So all kind of assistance with reference to international travel and support is provided by the university. Yes, Suchi.
Students, I think that was crucial, especially for all the international students joining us. You can see that there is absolutely 360-degree support system available for each and every one of you. Our next question comes from Sanjukta De, and she's asking us, what are the placement opportunities for PG students?
Okay, so this is for both UG and PG. The scope, of course, you have print media, electronic media, social media, new media, and the placement opportunity, if I tell you, endless and unlimited, because these mediums and these media, it is ever expanding, growing in infinite and seamless area. So you just switch on your TV and you find thousands of channels. So that is there. And where you find that students from media and journalism, they are in high demand because they have the required skills and capabilities and competence to cater to the requirement of these media houses or media agencies or news channels, whether it is air channel, whether it is TV channel, whether it is online channels, all with this digital world, the scope has further expanded like anything. So the jobs, if you are asking me, of course, editing, reporting, social media management, advertising. You can have your own news channel if you have the entrepreneurship skills. Then, of course, whether all areas, as I said, newspaper, magazine. You can be an editor. You can be a media researcher. You can be a correspondent. You can if you have very good communication skill for which you will be groomed, nourished, trained as part of this program, then news anchor. You can have your own news YouTube channel. You can be blogger. You can do media marketing, and there are a good number of government jobs also in media which you can think of in case you're interested. Then content producer, and many a times good number of students are interested and they go with their own short films and documentaries making. So event manager, you can management, you can be copywriter, you can be copy editor, you can be video journalist. That's also very interesting area. Good number of students prefer going for. You can be photojournalist, anchors and radio jockey. So that's the kind of job you will be doing. And as I said, in any media, whether it is electronic media, whether new TV channels or news channel, web portals, radio, TV production houses, video programming. So these are the nature of jobs. And in addition to this, with the new media coming into picture, so website and blogs, they have further taken an edge, and people, there's a good demand, and accordingly the career options and avenues for JMC students, and then streaming audio and videos, then chat rooms, all online communities, social media and sharing platforms, on mobile app, advertising. These are the virtual reality environment, very important, and internet telephony also coming into picture these days now. So you find that this area is very growing and expanding and infinite, seamless, so unlimited opportunities. So I think Dr. Singh would like to supplement here.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, I have mentioned that we have a Center for Industry Academia Partnership, and that's a dedicated cell which is functioning only to strengthen ties with the industry and to make what you can say a channel for our students to have, let's say, the internships or placements directly. And internships and placements over here are treated with a very, what you can say, serious regard over here. And it is mandatory for every student to undergo internship. And definitely it's a very exhaustive process. And needless to say, as I've stated, that it is a top priority for us when it comes to having training and having placements for our students.
Just a point to supplement, media industry or media houses. It's a very big and booming industry, and
Yes,
gateway opens to you if you successfully complete your degree program in journalism and mass communication. It's an ever-growing area and field. In fact, non-stoppable, and you can see that everything is under lockdown presently due to COVID situation, and Corona, and all those issues. But Corona also could not dare to stop media industry or media houses or industry. So that's the uniqueness about this, about media professional and industry, that they work 24/7 in all situations and in all circumstances. So unstoppable area,
yes,
a very broad field.
in fact, media thrives on crisis. So I guess, as you have witnessed, so the more the crisis, the more it thrives, I guess.
All right. Next few questions, faculty members. Let's keep it short. Pooja Maheshwari is asking us, if I choose to specialize in advertising, what will be my future opportunities? Can we just have 3 quick points for Pooja so we can take last few questions?
Okay. So Dr. Singh, you may come up.
Yes. In fact, advertising, again, I've said, is a very lucrative, very big field. And in advertising also, there's a what you can say, possibility that you can go in for the front end side, which is the marketing side, and which is the client servicing side, as we said. And the other part is the content creation. As you can see, the person who are really creating that content, whether it is in terms of video or print. And the third part is very interesting, is advertising management, the persons who are actually running the whole show. So advertising is a very, very specialized and very lucrative, I guess, area. And depending on your attitude or maybe your caliber or maybe your interest, I'm sure there are ample possibilities. And I guess I can also add that advertising guys command the biggest pay packets in the media industry right now.
Okay, great. Pooja, good news coming in for you there. Definitely a booming industry with lots of dynamic careers to offer. Our next question is coming from a student who's asking us, and this is a very important one, what will be the syllabus for the entrance exam? And this is a student who's just finishing her 12th in the science stream.
Okay, it was
So,
covered
if I
earlier also. So,
request Anuja,
Anuja,
also to
yeah,
add to
Yes,
this.
ma'am.
we
Okay.
covered this question twice, Suchi. We are covering this third time. Yes.
Okay.
Anuja, you
So
come.
yeah, yes, ma'am. So basically, you need to study the current affairs, logical reasoning. Little bit command on language is very important. So all the questions that are there related to these four topics, you need to cover these points while studying for exam. Also, you can refer to general studies books of competitive exams, which are there for the entrance level. You can also study some of the UPSC or state commission competitive exams. And similar type of questions you can find there: logical reasoning, maths, English, then a little bit of history, little bit of maths, little bit of current affairs also. So all together. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. We have another question from a student, and I believe, look, some of these questions will be repeated because I think some students who are falling back due to technical glitches and coming back in might ask repetitive questions. I know we covered this one as well, but Aishwarya is asking us, I have applied for the BA Mass Media program. When will be the entrance exam?
Okay. So dates are May 27th, May 30th, and June 2nd. So except for, I think, Anuja, can you come in now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, as ma'am said, there are 3 dates that are mentioned for UG entrance exam and PG entrance exam as well. But since due to this lockdown issue right now, we might be conducting exams online. So it's not final yet, but definitely we will be conducting exams if this shutdown continues. And we will not let students hamper their studies, and we will not pass on the dates. But definitely we are working on that. And otherwise, the dates are 27th of May, then there is 2nd of June and 31st of May. In chronology, if I have to say 27th, 31st May, and then 2nd June.
I would like to put in, ma'am, one more point.
Yes.
Because I've heard these questions coming up, I guess this is the third time. So I request all the participants to please register on the admission site so that every detail, every single information, as you can see, by every third day, the government is coming up with a new kind of, what you can say, guidelines for admissions. And of course, the relaxations that can be provided. So I request to stay in touch. Please get yourself registered on our microsite so that every information can be conveyed to you promptly. Thank you.
Okay, Suchi, I think there was very important question one student has asked. It was about skills. What skills are needed and something like that was the question. So very important question. So I'm taking that from the student who has raised this question. So very important for all of you, my dear prospective student. Here is that you check with yourself. Do you like information? Do you have appetite and hunger for information and news? Are you keen to know what's happening around? And more importantly, do you like sharing these information and facts with people? Then yes, journalism and mass communication is the right program for you. And coming to the skills, which you should have a little bit, and which we will further groom and nourish you and make you industry ready professional for all these media industry agencies, houses, and all kind of mediums which we have for journalism and mass communication. So good communication skills, good writing skills, good presentation skills, writing precisely, clearly, and in short, the information, good observation, that's very, very important, and good in facts finding and facts checking. And more importantly, dedicated, committed, and hardworking, because you have to be standing for hours and hours to figure out the information or to search for the information. So can you survive in all tough and hard situation? This is very important for media professionals. So that's why fieldwork and all those training. I think Dr. Singh will like to add on. Dr. Singh, you can come in.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Question was, what are the skills required to become a, journalist or a professional in this area?
Well, it's a very general question, but I guess you're explaining it very comprehensively. But there are certain aspects in which media students excel, and that is the verbal communication, that is oral communication, and the written communication. And of course, the third part, again, that is the basis of all success that you will get in your life, is how do you interact with other people. And we at mass communication go a step further. We talk about interacting with masses. So again, that is a specialized skill that we teach over here. Let's say, because right now I'm talking to a camera, it's an inanimate object. So it's not easy to stare it, into a piece of equipment and just be natural. But that requires training, that requires effort, and that's what we are here for.
Yeah, I'll just add one more point, and then of course back to Suchit will be. So of course this area, this profession, there's name and fame, and it comes with lots of challenges. And if you like challenges, I think this is the right program for you. Yes, Suchit.
Just one last line I would like to add. All the prospective students would just like to understand one thing, that you need to understand one important concept. That is a thin line between two different things. That there is a difference between ego and attitude, and there is a difference between being polite and being straightforward. So if you understand the thin line difference between these things, I think that would be the best. This is the best profession for you then. Thank you.
Suchi, there was one more interesting question which I would like to take here right now, and the question was that will I, if I do BA, JMC, or this program in journalism and mass communication, will I be, getting acting also? So that's interesting question. So here, as part of this program, we are giving the sessions and academic learning to make you journalist, and journalism and mass communication related training, and we are developing you for that. But we also have the option as part of the program structure for open electives. So, and in case there's some course on acting as part of the program structuring, if it is in open basket, you may opt for it. Yes, Suchi.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, we are completely out of time. We did try and take as many extra questions as we could. Some voluntary questions coming in from the faculty members there. I really hope you enjoyed that. And now, dear students, we do have a WhatsApp number for you. It is 9881 492 848. This number will come in very handy for all of you who still have questions and you'd like to get in touch with one of us and have your queries answered. So please do make note of that WhatsApp number. It's 9881 492 848. Dear students, you saw firsthand how welcoming our faculty is of your questions, and not just that, also the kind of support system, the state-of-the-art architecture and infrastructure that is there on the university campus Let me assure you, you will not fall short of any kind of need that you may have as a media and mass communication and journalism student, whether it is in the BA program or in the MA program with these specializations. So once again, be early in the admissions process and do send in your admissions applications to us at admissions.mitwpu.edu.in. And this will allow us, of course, to get in touch with you personally and let you know of the next steps of the admissions process. And just to really quickly summarize, dear students, don't feel bogged down or overwhelmed or anxious, even though the times are uncertain. Let me tell you, you just need to apply and send in your application form. And you need to appear for the entrance test on which we spoke about exhaustively today. And those are pretty much the two things from your end that you need to clear, and the rest will happen from the university's end. So it's pretty simple in that sense. And okay, one last thing that I would like to once again mention is that we will be uploading this webinar on YouTube in a few days' time. So if you feel like you missed out on some information, and I know we did show you a Word document with answers to crucial questions, so of course that is there for you as a resource. Please come back to us in a few days' time, maybe a week's time, and we will be happy to put that on the MIT World Peace University official YouTube channel, and then you can find this webinar there and definitely go through it again. We are completely out of time, but I'd like to take this moment to thank each and every one of you, whether it was our faculty members or our dear students who joined us for this live webinar. You heard what are the kinds of exciting careers that you can foray into after pursuing this program. So I really, really hope it helps you in your decision-making process.